In a previous video, I went over the various parts of the desktop and the taskbar. We mentioned that there are several things you can do here in the Start menu to customize it. So let's talk about what some of those things are. First of all, what if I don't like all of these icons here on the Start menu? What if I want to change them, add to them, and so on? Well, I would do that in the Settings app. Let's go to Settings. And now we'll go down to Personalization. And I'll click Start. Here I have several things that we'll look at a little later, but the one I want to focus on right now is choose which folders appear on Start. And here you can see the ones that I already had there. If I open this up, you'll see I've got Documents, Pictures, Settings, Power, and my account. Well, here are the Settings, Documents, Pictures. The account one and the Power are automatically there, so you don't see those options here. But I can also add a few others. I mentioned in the previous video that you could get to the File Explorer by clicking on Documents. Let's go and do that. Click on Documents. But when I do that, I go into the File Explorer, but specifically in Documents. What if I just want the generic File Explorer? I can turn that icon on. And now when I go down to Start, here is a File Explorer icon, which I can click and go directly to File Explorer at the top of the File Explorer. I can add my Downloads folder, my Music folder, my Videos folder. I can add a network icon, and then the Personal folder. Let's take a look at the Personal folder. So here it is. If I click Personal folder, what it does is it takes me directly to the C Users Roger folder. This is the folder that you would want to back up if you want to save all of your data to put onto another computer, for example, or if you're going to do a clean install. This is the folder you want to back up. It's got your documents, downloads, and so on. Now let's talk about this middle section here, the apps and programs. You can see I have a recently added section here, and then I've got programs that begin with a number and then with various letters. If I click a letter in here, any letter, I can go to any other letter in here. So let's say that I want something that is a Windows function. I can go to Windows Accessories, Windows Administrative Tools, Ease of Access, PowerShell, and so on, just by clicking the W and getting there quickly. One thing you might notice here is this little clock icon. What's that? Well, that takes me to the recently added section. Now I can change a few things on here. Again, I'm going to go to Settings and then down to Personalization, Start, and now you see I have a couple of things that I can add on that. Show the apps list in the Start menu. I can show that or not show it. Recently added apps, you saw that on my desktop. Most used apps, that might be handy if there are some things you use a lot. And then occasionally suggestions. I don't typically like that. I normally like to turn that off. So now if I click this, I've got recently added and now most used. Let's talk now about this tiles area over here. So we can customize quite a bit. Of course, we can pin things to it, as we demonstrated earlier. If I want to pin the calendar to it, for example, I just go down to Calendar. I'll right-click and I'll say Pin to Start, and the calendar will show up on Start. Now, some of these tiles are live tiles. They can change. For example, the mail and any news tiles and things like that can change. Some are just links. I can make these things smaller, resize them, bigger, and so on. I can also turn off the live tiles. I can pin a tile to the taskbar. I can run it as an administrator. And then I can get to the app settings that tile represents. One interesting thing I can do with tiles is to combine them into a folder. So I'm just going to grab one tile, slide it over top of another one, and now it creates a folder with both of them. When I expand that folder, I can grab one of those and drag it back out and make it a separate tile again. I still have this one in a folder, so let's open that folder, grab that tile, and drag it out. And now I've deleted that folder. By the way, when I do have them in a folder like that, I can name that folder whatever I want. And there's Roger's folder. You can see I have these groupings, and in fact they're called groups. I can change the name of the group by clicking on it. In this case down here, I have two icons that I've added, and they don't seem to have a group name, but if I hover over here, you can see that they really do. It's just blank, so I can call that whatever I want. Roger's group. I can make a new group simply by taking any of these and moving them to a new area. See if I can get this down here. There you go. And now I've got a new group which I can name whatever I want. So I can add more groups here. One option we have, if we run out of space on there, we can, besides resizing them, if I go back into settings again and down to personalization, start, you'll see that I can show more tiles on start. So I can make that thing bigger. Let's take a look at it now. And you see I have an area over here where I can expand into more, make more groups. I also have an option to not show the apps list. So if I turn that off, now you'll see that the apps list is gone, and I have more room here that I can make for my tiles. Now when I do that, you see I've got two new icons. This can take me back and forth between the apps and the tiles. Another option I have is to use full screen. So if I click full screen over here, now I have a lot more room that I can use for that. Here again, I've got these two icons, so I can go back and forth between pin tiles and apps. And even if I go back and turn on show apps in the start menu, you see I've still got that same effect. In order to fully get back to the way I was, I have to go in here and turn off full screen. And there I am back again. One very last thing I want to mention is a little shortcut. If I right click anywhere on the desktop, I can get to that personalization area right here, personalize. Just a little faster to get to that start menu personalization.